Hello and welcome to this screencast that's going to take you on a fun tour of the PARCC website. Not the whole thing. We're going to look at the parts that you probably need to take a look at more closely, and we'll give you a lot of information regarding the PARCC assessment and what students will have to do on the PARCC assessment. So without any further ado, let's take a look at some important places here on the website. First thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go home. So you're going to see this lovely smiling young man. And the first place I want to show you are where these computer-based sample test questions are. So they have a link right on the front page of their site. So if you click on online, you'll be taken to the computer-based sample test items page. So you want to click on this link right here that says try the sample test items. And then you're going to it's going to open a new tab, and then you're going to go to sample items. And then you see it breaks it down grades 3 through 5, 6 through 8, and then high school ELA and math sample item set. So if I click on the high school, what's going to pop up is you'll see that most of these have two sections. If it ever finishes loading. Most of these have two sections to them. The first section will be the ELA. There we go, two sections. First section will be the ELA and the second section will be math. I would encourage you to look at both of them, just because, it's always good to be aware of what, students are going to have to do across the board rather than just in one particular area. So that's how to access the computer-based sample items. Okay. And again, they also have rubrics if you'd like to take a look at those. So that's the first part I want to show you. The second part I want to show you is this PARCC assessment part of the PARCC website. So if you click on PARCC assessment, you're going to see all sorts of goodness pop up over here. You're going to click on assessment system. And I want to show you what's in these options here. So if you click on K through 2, you're going to see they talk about the K2 formative assessments. Remember, grades K through 2 are not going to be assessed on the PARCC assessment. However, there will be formative assessments developed for those particular grade levels. If you click on grades 3 through 8, you're going to see here in a second that they're going to describe the assessment systems. They're going to see the summative assessment components, the non-summative assessment components, which are your mid-year assessments, speaking and listening, PBA, and end of year. Same goes for the high school page. It looks very similar to the page 3 through 8. Okay. What I really want to show you are these blueprints and test specs. This page is important because it has links to documents that tell you what's going to be on the test, what students are going to have to do, how many questions are going to be of each type. So these are the nuts and bolts of that PARCC assessment. So again, you have some FAQs, you have some narrated PowerPoints and some larger PDFs if you'd like to look at those. But if you scroll down here, you're going to see this is really what you want to look at. So if I look at PARCC combined ELA PBA task generation models, you're going to see the grade 6, number and type of text that they're going to encounter, 1 PCR, which is prose constructed response, order of student actions, this is what they're going to have to do, and they have these EBSR, evidence-based selected response, or TECR, technology enhanced constructed response items. So it tells you how many and what order they're going to have to do it in. So I think these documents are very informative. So those are the ELA ones. Let's take a look at some math blueprints because they're set up a little bit differently. I'm going to come down, I'll pick Algebra 1, end of year. So if you look, they have the evidence statement key, which is your standard. And then you have your evidence statement text, which is, this is what students are going to have to do. Any clarifications, what mathematics practice is going to be hit on that one, and then whether or not they can use a calculator. Remember, calculators are embedded in the technology of the assessment. They can't actually have a physical calculator with them. So those are some math ones. I'm going to show you some more ELA ones. Let's go back up to the ELA here. We'll do combined writing evidence tables. Now, evidence tables are set up like this. They have the major claim for writing or reading, and then they have the standards, writing number 1. Remember, those are the anchor standards. And then they have evidences, which is what students are going to be able to do. So here is the standard, and this is what students are going to have to do for that particular standard. So that's grade 3. Let's take a look at... Those were combined. That was all grades. So that was writing. Look at the combined evidence tables for ELA. Again, they have a claim. they have the standards and they have evidences. They have what the student will have to do in order to master or show mastery of that standard. So I do believe, yes, this is a large document. This has all of the grades in there. See, we're at grade 5. So these are evidence tables. In other words, the evidence that students will have to provide or demonstrate that they have mastered the standard. So I think these are quite important to take a look at. So those are evidence tables. And again, math has their evidence tables, ELA has their evidence tables. Math has it broken down by grade level, ELA does not. Why? I have no idea. That's the way PARCC set it up. So I want to talk to you a little bit more about these PLDs though. If you click here, PLD, what that stands for is Performance Level Descriptor. What they have done, PARCC has made these performance levels, which are very broad levels, and they number them. So they have a performance level 5, 4, 3, and 2. They don't have a 1. I don't know why. Maybe they don't like 1. But it's 5, 4, 3, and 2. So basically what they do is they say, okay, students are at a level 5. Level 5 students can do these things. Level 4 students can do these things. So they actually describe what students can do at each level. So there are broad ones, which are these big, what they call policy level performance level descriptors, but then they have grade and subject specific ones. So I'm going to actually access the grade and subject specific ones, you have to click on these two links, ELA or math. So let's take a look at ELA. For ELA, if you come down here, you'll see that it's broken down by grade level. I'm going to pick on grade 8. Okay, so these are your performance level descriptors for ELA. So they've got right here performance level 5, 4, 3, and 2. Their performance levels for ELA are based on 3 things. The level of text complexity that the student encounters, or when the student encounters a text of certain complexity, how do they handle it? Range of accuracy of answers and quality of evidence provided to support their answers. Remember, students have to back up everything with evidence. It's one of the biggest shifts in Common Core ELA. So you've got 5, 4, 3, and 2. You've got your 3 subject areas that they get those performance levels. And down here, if you see number 1, text complexity, they actually explain to you what all of these mean. Very complex, moderately complex. Same here for range of accuracy. So they describe what accurate, mostly accurate means. Same for quality of evidence. Here are the performance level descriptors. In blue are those big policy level ones. So level 5 always means distinguished. Level 4 always means strong. Level 3 means moderate, and 2 means partial. Okay. So up top here you'll see the reading subclaims. They have to read literature, information, vocabulary, interpretation, and use. Here you find links to those evidence tables we just took a look at. But right here, these are your global descriptors, but in each of these it actually specifically describes what students should be able to do. Now this is reading, so in reading, a level 5 student does this. A level 4 student does this. So you'll see right here they have a writing subclaim for written expression. So in writing, students do this. I think these would be very useful, especially like in class, actually having students kind of score themselves on these or use similar levels so kids can actually assess where their understanding and where their abilities are. Okay, so those are ELA. I'm going to take a look at the math. They look a little different but set up pretty much the same. So I'm going to look at Algebra 1. Again, looks different, really the same. Here's your subclaim. Level 5 describes what students should be able to do. Level 4, Level 3, and Level 2. And again, right here are the standards. So again, I would get used to these rating systems and these scales because that's really how they're going to describe performance on some of these questions and some of these standards. Okay. So those are performance level descriptors. We talked about the blueprints and test specs, which are those evidence tables. I want to show you one more thing that you might be interested in. If you go under policies and guidance, and then you click on college and career ready policies. I'm not sure if people were aware of this. I'm going to tell you, and there's a whole bunch of text here. Really what you want to do is you want to come down and click on this first document. Now, what's going to happen after students take the PARCC is they're going to get their test scores, their sub-level scores, okay? But they're also going to get what's called a career-ready determination, a college and career-ready determination, a CCR determination. And it's numbers again, it's those levels. Only this is an overall summative score of how ready they are for college and careers, okay? So again, they have levels, and I'm going to scroll down. And they give you some definitions right here. Level 5, distinguished command of the knowledge, skills, and practices embodied by the Common Core State Standards. So if you scroll down further, it describes level 4, and it gives you a great description here. But level 4 is a strong command. Level 3 is moderate command. Now what these levels are, they're different from the PLDs. PLDs are how they perform on the standards. These levels are how ready are they for college and career. They're going to get a college and career readiness determination score along with scores on their tests. So I just wanted you to be aware that this document existed in case you wanted to peruse it, you know, in all the free time that everyone has these days preparing for PARCC. So I just wanted to make you aware that that was there. So we took a look at where the computer-based questions were. We took a look at where the evidence tables were. We take a look at what performance level descriptors are and what the college and career readiness determinations are. So those are some key parts of the PARCC website that you may want to take a look at. But again, if you have any more questions, feel free to let me know, and also feel free to poke around this website on your own. Again, I wanted to kind of guide you through because sometimes it can be hard to find exactly what you're looking for. But again, feel free to peruse on your own. Or if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me.